All right, Theresa.
Here we are again.
Please don't screw up. That's all I'm asking.
I won't screw up, I won't.
All right, this will be painless. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I am here with Theresa Strong. And Theresa, I get like a deja vu feeling, like you and I did this already. All right, so truth be told, we did this video already, the entire thing. And one of us, I am not gonna point any fingers, but one of us who controls all the video stuff forgot to charge the wireless mic, so we had a silent video. You know what I should have done? I should have made it like a silent video, black and white, grainy, and just put words in, like I'm interviewing you and all the words would be on the bottom. I could have controlled the whole thing.
Like closed caption.
Yes, almost like a silent movie, only I could have controlled everything you said. So I could say, Theresa, what was your best day ever? I'd be like, the day I met you, Rob. What was the worst day ever? The day you told me you're dating somebody else, me and my girlfriends. The whole thing could have been all about me. All right, I'm here with Theresa Strong. Her organization is Bel Inizio. Well, am I saying it right?
Perfect.
Okay. And what does that mean, and what do you do?
Beautiful beginning. We are a nonprofit whose mission is to help disadvantaged women build self-confidence and life skills through fitness and nutrition education.
So explain that a little bit.
We work with agencies, like Angela House, for example. They have women that live there. They may be women that have been abused. They're in recovery from drugs or alcohol. Perhaps they just came out of jail or prison. And they are staying there for a period of months to get back on their feet. We go into Angela House twice a week for 8 weeks and teach the women nutrition, life skills, and fitness with the goal of completing their first 5K race.
So how does that help them become better people? Like, what is the connection there?
When we start our program, we ask them to set a goal. That goal is completing a 5K race. And they make a commitment to us that they will stay in that program and do it, which is a serious commitment when we're having, it's 100 degrees at 8 a.m. and they need to go out and work out. But they stick with the program time after time, and then they do the race and complete it. And we've had, I think, almost 900 women cross the finish line of 5Ks. And I can't count how many have said, I have never completed anything before that I said I was gonna. I don't have my GED, I've lost my children, I can't stay sober, but I said I was gonna do this, and I did it. And that success is something they can build on, they can generalize to the rest of their lives.
And how many women did you say?
I'll bet it's 900.
And how long?
12 years.
12 years.
This is year 12 for Bel Inizio.
All right, so we have to go back to the very beginning. How did you start this? Why did you start it? And what is your background?
My background is having far more education than probably most people should have. I have multiple graduate degrees and have worked in fields from being a professional painter to being an instructional designer to being a development director for a community health center and a Catholic Montessori school. And being a partner in a venture capital company. That's when things changed. I was working for the venture capital company. A recession hit. They went out of business. They closed down, and 2 months later, my husband died of brain cancer. So I found myself at quite loose ends and decided to start running to try and set my own goal and achieve it day after day. And I was volunteering at shelters at night while I was trying to get a job, and realized that the goals I was setting for myself, even if it was just to run a block, was helping me day after day stay positive, stay motivated, and know that I could keep going. And I wanted to, again, generalize that skill to the people, that feeling, that accomplishment, to the people I was helping in the homeless shelters. But no matter where I went, nobody had a program like that. People, and the organization still to date, they don't have a fitness focus. They don't have the resources to do that, the interest to do it, the skills to do it. So that's where Bel Inizio comes in. And we complement so many of the other programs these agencies have to build the confidence of the women so that they can take advantage of learning job skills, writing resumes, learning interview skills with a confidence behind them that they didn't have before.
So how did you think about the women that you're going to help? Was it from the shelters? You started seeing stories? I mean, how did you pick to help women as opposed to helping kids? And did I hear something?
When I was exploring the concept of Bel Inizio, as you should, when you explore any nonprofit, you have to go out there and see who else is doing what you're doing. Because you should never start a nonprofit where someone else is already doing it. You should help them.
Oh, good point.
Open Door Mission had a fitness program where they trained men in their facility to run races. And I thought, well, that's kind of the same idea I have. I'll just help them. So I joined with them one morning at 5 a.m. off Harrisburg, meet with a program manager there, about 15 guys that are this tall and 20 years old, and they've been in recovery for about 20 minutes, and we're all going to go out and Theresa's going to help them run their 1 mile. And we head out, and within 30 seconds, they have all left me in the dust.
Oh, wow.
They're at the end of 1 mile, and they're like, come on, Miss Theresa, you can do it, you can do it. And I'm thinking, this isn't how it's supposed to go. I'm supposed to be setting up a program to encourage you. And at such point, I realized that, okay, I've got a good concept. It's being proven here at Open Door Mission.
Yeah.
But Theresa motivating fitness levels in 20-year-old men is not a good fit. So it turned into helping women. And there's plenty of agencies that have women that need the support that Bel Inizio is giving them.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right, so it's a brand new, it's still a new idea, but back then when you first started, did you get any kind of pushback or people saying, how is this going to help? Because again, it was not really try with men, but you're trying specifically with women who have a background, a history. Did you get any kind of pushback? What were some of your challenges when you first started this nonprofit? And were you working at the time? Because now this is what you do.
Now it's what I did, but for the first 5 years of Bel Inizio, I had other full-time jobs. So this was my second full-time job.
Yeah, exactly. Second full-time.
Right.
Yes.
They say when you start your own business, you don't work 9 to 5, you work 5 to 9.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So that was Bel Inizio, before work, after work, and on weekends. Did we get pushback? People that value fitness, that value exercise, or people that are in recovery, they're all in on this.
Really?
I mean, you tell them and a smile breaks out and they're like, that's a great idea. There are people that feel that if you're in recovery, that you have a criminal background, that you've been abused, that it's your fault. You should have left. You shouldn't have had a drink of alcohol. You shouldn't have committed a crime. And my job is to educate people that the women that we work with, they've made a lot of bad decisions, no doubt about that. But they've had a lot of bad things happen to them. They come from homes with abuse, with parents, if there's two parents, in prison, addiction, no value on education. They're doing what they've been taught to survive. Now they've hit the bottom and they're trying to do better, and they need the tools to do that. And we're one of those tools.
So what I love about the beginning of your story, but I love the beginning, the whole thing, but you hit a time in your life, again, after losing your husband, I can't imagine, and you lost your husband, and then soon after, didn't your dog?
My dog ran away.
Very soon after, right?
Very soon after.
And people who have pets, that can be a great comfort. I can't, again, Theresa, you did all that. Somebody else would have just said, thrown in the towel. I'm just going to work for someone else, just do that, and that's it. You started doing something for yourself, and then you immediately started to see, first of all, you started volunteering at shelters.
Yes.
This is after your husband passed away?
Right after, immediately after.
Why? Why did you, again, wonderful, why did you immediately go to help people when you're going through an incredible hard time?
Two reasons. One is my family, my parents raised us to give back. We had to give back since we were little kids. On Halloween, we would have to take all the candy we got, divide it in 2 piles, and my dad would come by and pick one of the piles, take it away, and give it to kids, as we called it then, in orphanages. So you had to learn to be giving, because if you like divided the candy piles, you know, not equally, or like put all the yucky candy in one pile,
Right.
yeah, my dad's going to take your good pile. So we were taught always to give back. So we were always volunteering.
That's great.
But when I was in a really hard place, and even when I am now, the way I have to get out of my head is by giving to someone else, by letting whatever goodness can come in me flow out. And that's to some extent what we teach our women too, right? It's you're a team now. You're not an individual. You're doing good. Give it back to the person next to you. Encourage them. And Rob, we see our women, they start out on these walks and on these runs, on these training walks and runs, and they're just doing it on their own, whatever. And then pretty slowly, all of a sudden, they finish and they're cheering all the other women on when they're finishing. Yay, come on, you can do it, Sarah. Good job, Sarah. And they become a team.
Oh, that's cool.
They get out of their own head by giving back.
Do you hear from these women? Any of these women, like after the fact, they're ready, the program's done, and now they're out. So yeah.
We do. We have a program called Beyond the Finish Line, where we continue to interact with our women, help them with different things they're interested in, advanced fitness, advanced nutrition. We're about to have a Beyond the Finish Line bingo night coming up, so the women can get back together and
cool.
Stay connected.
That's very cool. And before we close out part 1, the name. Where did you come up with the name?
Bel Inizio means beautiful beginning. As I mentioned, it's Italian. At the time I was thinking about Bel Inizio, I was reading a book by Ann Patchett called Bel Canto, which is a book about an opera singer. And I fell in love with that book. And so I wanted to name my nonprofit Bel Canto, which means beautiful song.
Nice.
But like, I don't sing, and we're not about singing, and it wasn't a good fit. So spent a lot of time on Google Translate, and Bel Inizio was born.
Oh, wow. What a great name. All right, in part 2, I'm going to ask you what your best day was, what your hardest day was, and what advice would you give to somebody who's getting ready to start either a nonprofit or even a business, any business, because again, it's that hard thing of getting something started, especially a new idea. All right, we're going to part 2.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.